Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Chelsea Hangover, and it really feels quite fitting because I feel like I'm hungover, but with like greatness and happiness and all that goes with it. After that Chelsea win, I really did not advertise this at all. I should have, but it's been a crazy day for me, and I just didn't have time. I've just been going nonstop since 9 a.m. So thank you guys for anybody who tuned in super last minute. I really appreciate it. And like, we have two very incredible guests on. Jim's actually going to be co-hosting with me for all Chelsea Hangover episodes. And we have on Matisse, who's just one of my favorite people, honestly, from Chelsea Twitter that I've met. He's so nice. Every time that we talk, I just feel like in a better mood and happier as well. So Matisse, I'll go to you first. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Business as usual. You know, we run London. London is blue. We've got Tottenham YouTube. There's not many of them, but we've got them in the mud on strings at the moment. So that's how it needs to be. Do you know what I mean? I made sure that we spoke to as many Tottenham fans this week in the build up to the game as possible, just to make sure that I asserted my dominance as a Chelsea supporter with each one, whether it was expressions, tapping toes, you know, all of them. I made sure that they knew London was going to be blue, and the team didn't let me down. So I'm in a great mood, man, honestly.
Oh my God. After that win yesterday, I was just like, my heart was beating when we were giving them more of the ball in the final like 10 minutes. And I was like, please, no. But before we get into the game, Jam, how you doing?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Ma and myself, we're going to bring the energy. Don't worry about your day, Ellie. You've had a busy day. Don't worry about that. We're going to bring the energy. Chelsea just beat Spurs again in their own backyard. Sorry, Spurs. As Mar said, business as usual. I'm absolutely buzzing. Let's take this away. Let's go.
Oh, man. So first, I want to bring it back to the start of the game, and we can kind of just go all over the place. You guys know me. I really don't have that much structure to these streams. I just try to answer the questions that you have, and then we kind of chat and see where it goes. So if you have any questions, definitely let us know so that I can try to answer as many of them as possible, and that would be super cool. So I want to take it back to the beginning of the match when we saw the starting 11 come out, and I really couldn't like discern what was the starting, like the formation at all. And I saw Reece and Callum Hudson-Odoi playing together, and I was happy about that because I was thinking, oh my God, if Reece is playing as right wing back, if Callum's playing as right wing back, where does Reece fit into this system? So I was happy to see them together, but I had no idea what formation we were going to play, and I'm still a little confused about it, to be honest with you. Matisse, what were your thoughts on the starting 11 when it came out?
It was an interesting one because it allowed Callum to play higher up with Mount. I always felt like we was going to stick with the three at the back. There's no need to change. We're coming up against the same low blocks. It's obviously a higher opposition, but they're still playing the same negative way. Fossil football is being called. I like to call it World War II football. Do you know what I mean? It's terrible. It's car crash stuff. Do you know what I mean? The bus does not leave the station, as they say, double deck or whatever you want to do. You know, bendy buses. We had them in London, them little buses that used to wind. Do you know the ones? Remember? They were dangerous ones. I'm telling you. That is what Jose Mourinho brings to the table. That's what he brings to the party. Just stinks out the place like a skunk. It's unbelievable stuff. But I see Hudson-Odoi, I see Mason Mount, and I think to myself, what a brilliant opportunity to get on the half turn in the half spaces. There's a midfield overload which happened all game. We had the double sixes that he spoke about in the press conference with Jorginho and Kova. And no matter what, it's not like Tottenham tried to press us anyway. But even if they did, there was always a man spare, and Mason Mount was in acres of space because Jorginho and Kova was able to relieve the pressure in the first little press that they attempted poorly. And then once we got in behind them, it was Mount and Hudson-Odoi just in acres of space, able to deliver it to the right-hand side, and that's where we got our attacks from. Everything funneled down the right, and Alonso was just this FBI agent on the left-hand side in secrecy, never really on the ball in general play, but just coming in the back post, you know, that's really his job. Every time we got the ball, if you clocked it, we went down the right every time. Rudiger would just shift it onto his right foot and just face that way. It's like Alonso was like this adopted kid, you know, that nobody really wanted. He just looked at no that way. It was Tracy Beaker stuff. It was ruthless.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Ruthless.
Like, this is why I love you, Matisse. You just bring this energy. You have these like comparisons that only you can think of that I would never think of in a million years, but it's just absolutely brilliant. And I really like what you said about Chelsea finding a lot of space because in the past, I don't know if you guys felt like this as well, but in past games, I felt like the opposition team had like 15 players on the pitch and Chelsea had like 7. You know, it just felt like it just wasn't equal at all. And in this game, I felt like we had more players on the pitch because we were the ones who were finding a lot of space. We had a lot of time on the ball, and really we were winning that midfield battle, which allowed Mount to roam into absolute acres of space. And I felt that he had a really great game controlling it. What about you, Jam? What do you think?
Yeah, Mar's right. Ellie, you're right as well. Do you know what? I'll develop on what you said about Rudiger and Alonso, right? So it's almost like Alonso was not an unlocked character yet. He had unlocked every other player, all other 9 players on the pitch, apart from Alonso. He would just turn and that would be it. And it was just dominance, as Mar said as well. From the very start, dominance. We just asserted our dominance and that was the end of the story. There was only going to be one winner. The only thing I would say is I did get kind of vibes from the League Cup game. It was kind of similar. We dominated the first half and then they came back into it. I was really, really, really afraid of that happening again. But this toothless Spurs team, man, something just flicked in my head and I just thought, nah, man, we've got this. And 1-0 was enough. I mean, I've got to apologise to Kovacic because I've been sending them hella abuse in the last few weeks. Saying, I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that. But do you know what? In this formation, it kind of suits them. It kind of suits them. And as any little press that developed, they just 1-2'd around that thing and did triangles, and that was the end of the game. That was the end of the matter, you know? That was it. So, yeah, it was good. I'm absolutely buzzing. Anytime we beat Spurs, just inject it. Just inject it. And, I mean, I saw the best thing afterwards. So Chelsea have beaten Spurs the most time in the Premier League era out of any other team in the Premier League in that time. What kind of rivalry is that?
Beautiful. And back-to-back wins at White Hart Lane in the Premier League. Well, not White Hart Lane now, the toilet.
Yeah.
3-point lane. 3-point lane, man.
3-point
Oh
lane.
my God, you guys.
In the Premier
You
League.
guys are so bantery, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want this to get clipped. I don't want to regret this.
Getting clipped is a good thing. You have to. That's what you gotta get with YouTube. Is getting clipped is a good thing. It's free advertisement. Usually you have to go to Google Ads or you have to speak to marketing teams. Twitter will promote your stuff for free. That right there is a blessing in disguise. You've got to take that opportunity and run with it 100%.
Well, you know that I've got my viral video that had 250,000 views.
Pogba Senior.
Pogba Senior strikes again. Do you know what I mean? I need him to clip up one of my videos and put it out in the channel real quick.
You had
the link in as well.
That one went pretty viral.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I saw a picture the other day of somebody said something and took my picture when I had a glass of wine. I was like, whatever. I don't even get this. Anyways, getting back into the game, you guys. So a couple of things that I wanted to touch on. What Jam said, how we scored the penalty. I thought it was interesting that Jorginho changed up his penalty technique. And I'm not sure who asked, I think it was Alison Bender, asked Tuchel if he told Jorginho to change his penalty technique. And he said, no, I leave it up to the players. And I thought that was interesting that Jorginho took it with power and changed it. And we scored. But then after we went 1-0 up, I was like, we need to get this second goal. We really do. Because if we don't, we could give Jose Mourinho the opportunity to have a halftime talk with his team, being only 1-0 down, and change the game and flip it on his head, because we know that he's a really good tactician. I still think that he is. Obviously, the tactics, I don't think he's as good of a manager as he was, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, let's say. But I do think that he still has that ability to just play these mind games and to change something. And I was really nervous that was going to bite Chelsea in the ass. What about you? Matisse, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I think if Harry Kane had been available, this would have been maybe a 1-1, because you're right, we didn't take our chances. We had so many opportunities in the first half to kill this game. Could have been 3, 3-0 minimum. But unfortunately, our strikers, they, as I always say, they don't eat. I made this analogy before, and I'll make it again. You see those American movies where you have that big breakfast spread on the table, and then that kid just comes along and takes one grape and goes to school? That has me fuming. And that's the same with the strikers. It's the same with the strikers. You have Reece James, you have Hudson-Odoi cooking in the kitchen, flipping pans, making eggs, bacon, sausage, whatever you want, you name it, you get it. And then these strikers say, I just want a grape. And then they just walk off. And it's ridiculous. And for me, I'm a patient man. I'm a patient man. But I'm only going to cook so many times. But if you don't finish your dinner, then maybe we're just going to have fish fingers and chips, chicken nuggets. Do you know what I mean? Frozen food. That's what it's going to, chalk ices. What are we doing? Free meals. What are we doing? All these free, man. It's a waste of time. Werner and Abraham, whoever's on that pitch, they better buck up their ideas very soon. Because you see, this summer, if that Norwegian with no smile, just cold killing Norwegian, ever touches this football club, it's a wrap for everybody. Roman loves a toy. He loves a toy. Christmas is every day of the year for that brother. If he has the opportunity to get a striker, we've seen it before. Shevchenko, Torres, you name it, he buys it. No matter what. Even Pato, Falcao. He'll bring someone in. Higuain, it don't matter. He'll go back to the dark days of old form and bring someone. But if he gets his paws on Haaland, wave goodbye to every striker at the club. They need to start finishing their dinner, man. Seriously, because we have Atletico Madrid coming up, and that's a serious fixture. You see these little tin pot London clubs that it's fine. We can deal with this. We run this city. We've got Sheffield United and Newcastle coming up. Hopefully, we can bag those wins as well. But when Atletico Madrid with Diego Simeone and Suarez and all of these brothers, La Liga leaders, if we don't finish our dinner then we're going to go hungry. We're going to leave. You're living in Spain. We're going to go hungry. We're going to leave Madrid, your city. We're going to leave your city hungry. You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to have the croquetas. You're not going to have the tapas.
No tapas. I love tapas. I love tapas.
No vino, nada.
Imagine someone offers you tapas jam and you just reject it. It's rude. It's rude. Imagine going to Madrid, getting tapas on a plate, and these men are just skying their chances and saying, "No, we're not going to eat." It's just rude. Rude.
No, but I freaking love that speech. I need to clip this up, obviously. But I totally agree with you, and it's something that's frustrating because I feel like the attack is getting into good positions, right? The position isn't really an issue, and I think it would be more of an issue if they weren't getting into the right positions. But they're just not finishing off the chances, and I feel like a lot of times the shots are really soft and not precise as well, and it's so frustrating because I see it across the board. It's like everybody. Callum needs to work on his shooting. I think he's probably the best out of everybody that I'm going to mention, but you guys can let me know. Mount has looked terrible with his shooting. Everything else, he looks great, but his shot has just looked completely off. Christian Pulisic as well, Timo Werner as well. Kovacic takes a couple of shots. I don't even know why.
If these guys were in charge of taking shots, nobody would die. For real. They're just missing. You don't need body armor with these guys. It's mad.
Oh, man. Jem, what do you have to say about it?
You're both right. You're both spot on. I mean, it's almost like they get there and the Viagra runs out, and it's just whoa. Literally, it was honestly, the body was a sports car and the engine was from a bus. It's just like, come on, man, again and again and again. There's me sitting on my sofa going, oh, and then every time it's like, do you know what I mean? That is the reaction. I'm talking about 99% of Chelsea fans here. That's not just me. I know that. It was so frustrating because, like you said, Ellie, I'm thinking, where's goal number 2? When are we going to get this game out of sight? Where is goal number 2? Because I know what happens. I've been here before. I know what happens in the last minute. Yeah. Luckily, this time, Vinicius missed his header. Yeah. Because that was it. That was that moment. Out of nothing. That was Jose's moment, yeah? And he missed. Fine, we got away with it. We won't get away next time. They need to turn up.
Had a good shot as well. He had, it wasn't too far off if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's why I was really nervous. But I mentioned this in my review video, that something that I was happy about was that I felt normally after 1-0 losses, or sorry, that didn't make any sense. Normally, when we're winning 1-0, the team had this like, what's the word? Like you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm gonna see if I can feel it in the air.
Like it happened over and over again. You know what I mean?
Like a
tendency. They had a tendency to collapse under the pressure, and we would concede, and we would draw or even lose the game. Mm-hmm. And so I was really happy that the team was able to defend this 1-0 lead, but I did feel that it was a little bit too close for comfort. If Harry Kane was on, I do think that it would have been 1-0. So 1-1. I want to ask you guys another question. I think that everybody's been really impressed with Jorginho and Kovacic. And to be honest, when N'Golo Kante came on the pitch, I wasn't feeling great about it. I thought that he looked a little bit shaky. I know he's coming back from injury. It was his first game. It's a really big, intense game to go into. But do you think that N'Golo Kante gets back into this team? Jam, I'll start with you.
First of all, what I'm going to say as the co-host for this show, you better like this video, people. You better like this video. Do you know how much it's going to help Ellie out? Like the video. That's why you're here. You like what you're seeing. So like the video, please. And subscribe if you haven't. Anyway, let's get back to matters. N'Golo Kante. My friend. Look, he's just been injured, so he's not going to be sharp. There's a difference between being fit enough to play, and there's a difference between being match sharp. You know, you get the match sharpness from actually playing games, and he hasn't played games. So I'm not surprised at what I saw. However, the way that Kovacic is acting, he needs to buck his ideas up soon, you know. At the same time, he does need to show that he can play on the ball, which he can do when he's on it. He can do that, but he needs to show that he can fit into this team. Yes, we know what he brings defensively. The question mark has always been on what he's like on the ball, but he can play like that, so he just needs to get back on it as soon as possible. I see him playing on the weekend against Sheffield United. I think he should start because he needs to get that fitness in his legs. He needs to get his brain into gear. You know, he just needs to get sharp again. But yeah, his performance against Spurs wasn't great. You know, he made a few mistakes. I think he got a booking that was a bit silly, wasn't it? But yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. He's still a world-class midfielder. He's still a World Cup winner. This man, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him at all. But it's just looking a little peak if he doesn't have a good performance maybe in the next game. Maybe he's going to have to come off the bench and do some stuff. But, you know, I still back the guy. I still think he has, you know, big plans in this team. He's going to feature, no doubt.
What about you, Matisse?
Yeah, he's not needed as much in this formation because you have that back three, and then especially if you play Mount, you're surrounding Jorginho and Kovacic with mobility, which is important when you play with those two because you don't want to get done in transition. You keep it compact, but you surround them with mobility. The back three is a security. They're not going to be ahead of them or in any phase of play really too much. And, you know, we're a possession-based side, so we're going to have more of the ball. But we know Tuchel changes between systems and formations, so we shouldn't just pencil in our head that Kante can't get into this formation, so Kante's finished. He's going to play a 4-3-3 at times. He's going to play other formations as well. He did it so far in his managerial career. At PSG, he didn't even play this formation. So it depends on the game. It depends on the situation. So far, we've come up against only low blocks, so hence this formation, hence the setup. And obviously, Kante's been out as well. I don't know if I'll start him against Sheffield United. It's going to be another low block. You have the game against Barnsley in the Cup next Thursday as well. That's an opportunity where he can definitely start and get his fitness up and everything. I think right now, Jorginho and Kova are playing well. You know, so for score ratings, they'll love this on Twitter, but 7.3s and 4s for everyone so far. So, you know what I mean? The sofa score ratings are high for Georgie and Kova. So why would you disturb the peace? That's my thing. But I think Kante will get into it eventually. You know, he's a top player. For me, he's been overused, overplayed in recent years, and that has led to burnout and then maybe a lapse of concentration and then poor performances. We need to get used to playing without Kante as well. He's going to have to be managed a lot better than he has been. Don't, you know, hang him out to dry, which I don't think Tuchel will do. Find solutions without Kante. I say this all the time. Every other team on the planet don't have Kante. They find a way to play football. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't play football with Kante. Of course, Kante is a bonus, but do not just get the sponge and just squeeze everything out of it. Leave some juice in the sponge, and then we can go back to it and use it again later. You know, don't drink all the Kool-Aid, get too excited, and then you run out of Kool-Aid, and then you've got nothing left to drink for the rest of the day. Just balance it out, segment it. So I'm looking forward to Kante coming back into the team. I think he's going to be huge against Atletico Madrid, that big game that I spoke about earlier. But right now he's not 100% needed against Sheffield United or Newcastle. So give him time, and then let's see what he can do. But competition is always a good thing. I don't want any player to come into this team and just feel like they should have a divine right to start. Whenever that happens, that is a recipe for a team that is going towards mediocrity, because that means there's not enough competition and they're not fighting for places. So that can't run.
Like Mendy.
Listen, Mendy, Mendy's a different guy, because that guy is doing Cruyff turns and all of these things. He thinks he's Ronaldinho. Do you know what I mean? He's on something else. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts doing rainbow flicks and whatnot. You know when you just take the pad? You're playing against a kid on FIFA, yeah? You're playing against your little brother or something, and then you know he's not good. He's like amateur level, but you don't want to, you know, you have to pattern him up a little bit, humble the kid. You get the goalkeeper and you just start running. And it happened in a Soccer 8 game as well. I'm not going to be surprised if Mendy doesn't just pick up the ball and just start trying to do a Matisse Kovacic and just try and run for everybody. I don't know what that guy's smoking, but he's brave on the ball. He's brave on the ball. I give him credit, but he's going to give me a heart attack. I'm telling you, 100%. I'm definitely. There's going to be years are going to be taken off my life. On
that point, when blew the whistle, I don't know if it was just me, but I didn't hear the whistle go when he almost did like a Cruyff turn stop on the ball, and he had some man running at him. I was off my seat like, oh,
playing musical statues.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? And I think that reaction kind of shows what you're saying, man. He does it a lot, and it's just a bit like ropey. It's a bit too much.
His passing this season's been good, but for me, it's something that he's still developing. He's not prime Neuer. And sometimes when we're 1-0 up, you know what it is, yeah? When we're 1-0 up and we're not killing off the game, and I've just finished talking the most greased to expressions in the week, I'm thinking to myself, why don't you just clear it? Well, why are you putting me through this right now? All of this stress, my forehead, bless it, it's still intact. Why are you giving me frown lines and all these things? Just clear the ball. If we don't win this game, I can't step out onto the streets. I've got expressions probably ready with clips, and you're out here trying to play in between the lines like you're some sort of Xavi, prime Iniesta. It's not necessary. You know, let a man breathe. Do it once in a while, but this guy was doing it every 5 minutes. It was nuts. But obviously, it was under instruction, innit? So I have to go to Thomas Tuchel and say, listen, next time, if I'm beefing, if I'm doing something, just maybe go long. That's what I like with Petr Cech. He never did this to me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Honestly.
So I do want to try to start getting to some comments, because I have not been doing a great job integrating them at all, you guys. So I am like 20 minutes behind, but we're going to start getting to your questions. So Sam Williams asks, thoughts on Alonso, one worldie covering up to bang average performances. Jem, what do you think?
Alonso, the Teflon Don. Right, we can't get rid of this guy. I've said it already. He
has like 9 lives with Chelsea. It seems like he always comes back.
No, replace the 9 with an infinity sign. You can't do anything about it. No, do you know what? Let's be real. Let's respect what he's good at. He, for some reason, as a defender, is a very good attacker. I don't know many players that you could tell me right now can hit a ball sweeter than him. I mean, it's just a fact. This guy's got a sweet strike. He's very good in the air. The only problem is, and actually it's a big problem, when he's running, he runs through porridge. He can't run. You know, it's slow. But Alonso, is it remontada season for him? Yes, with this formation, he can play in this formation. It's built around him. He has cover, you know, when he can't catch up. It happened yesterday when he couldn't catch a player. He was running like this and he couldn't catch him. But, you know, there was cover there. So it's not so much of a worry. And then he sneaks into the back post, like I said earlier, and he's just lurking, waiting for anything. And you know where that's going to end up. So I don't mind Alonso in this team like this. I mean, I'll tell you who it's peak for. It's peak for Emerson. Chilwell, I think we'll get back to it. He's been off form recently, but Emerson was starting to get a sniff here and there. It's peak for him, man. Don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
it really is.
I think Alonso, I'm not going to say bang average because I think that's harsh. I look at his stats, most ball recoveries, most aerial duels won, most take-ons completed, most interceptions, and most clearances. And that's from a guy that don't even like him. We've got personal beef. But I have to be neutral and I have to be respectful of the matter that he didn't have a bad game. I wouldn't say it was average. He was good. However, like I said earlier, the Alonso's not there to funnel the ball through. He is the decoy. Just let him float. Let him do his thing on the left, and you go all the traffic down the right, and then he pops up at the back post. Like I said, long term, I don't want Alonso. Every single transfer window, I am ready for him to go every time. I'm ready. I've got the 100%. I've got the petrol in the car. Do you know what I mean? Sat down on whatever airport you want. Let me know your destination. I'll type it in. Flights booked. Whatever you want, I'm ready. Always. I'm always ready. There's not since Conte left. There's not been a summer where I've not been ready with the car. However, while he's here, I have to give him two things: praise for giving competition to Chilwell, who was starting to slack off and was starting to look very inconsistent. Whether that's from a point of he was just playing too many games and again, like Kante got burnt out, or he just was doing too many handshakes and high fives with Maddison after games. But again, you need to pattern yourself up, big man, because we're not here to draw games or lose games. When we lose, I want to see you on the floor, devastated, even if you're doing an acting thing. Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't care what you got to do, but do not be shaking hands and high-fiving and hopscotch, all this shit. Drop that. I don't want to see it. When we lose, I want you to feel pain. Do you know what I mean? Your mum always said, if you don't hear it, you must feel it. That is going to be how we approach it with Chilwell very soon. It's going to get violent. But on a serious thing, he's a player that needs to step up. Emerson also needs to step up. The left-backs have been bang average. Let's be real. None of them this season have been, Chilwell started well and then he dipped off. The one thing I can say to Alonso is he brings competition now. Now he's starting to actually force the other guys to step up their stuff in training. However, Alonso, just in general play, I've never really been a fan in terms of just the general way that his body moves. Do you know them stiff ones where it's like you're on the dance floor and you just can't quite turn quick enough? It's not for me. And he always shields with his left foot. He doesn't use his right. Do you know what I mean?
No, he can't do that.
It doesn't matter what situation. The right foot is not coming out to play. It's very much like Iron Robin without the pace and at left back. It's not going to run. Long term, it cannot run. But for now, I'm dropping the personal beef and I'm just saying, if you score the goals and we win the games, then good stuff. Because when the ball comes into the box from the right-hand side, we never have anybody in the box. And Alonso, this guy will be in the box. Don't you worry about it. He will be in the box every time. He'll be centre forward. He'll be on the back post, going for headers, shots, volleys, whatever you want, name it. He's gonna do it. He loves the box. Bless his soul. So yeah, Marcos Alonso. It's just hourglass. We're just gonna let it run for a little bit longer. But that's all I have to say on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I keep saying like he really did miss an opportunity to be a striker in another life because. But 100%. I do like what you said about him providing some competition for Ben Chilwell, because I do think that Ben Chilwell had that position really like locked down. And if you have somebody breathing down your neck and somebody who's starting over you in games, then I think that it will force Chilwell to try to train harder and hopefully play better when he's on the pitch. So, Jem, I'm going to kind of switch the question a little bit. Do you think that Ben Chilwell gets into this team with a back three, with knowing that Marcos Alonso is a very good wing back?
Yeah, he can do it, but someone needs to defrost him, man. I know he's called Chili B and all that, but someone needs to defrost this guy. Just, I noticed this is the Arsenal game. The Arsenal game. I had a watch list out. That game pissed me off. I was there. I was looking at it. I was like this. Mm-hmm. You as well. You. Yeah. I haven't forgotten that. Since then, I'm telling you now, he hasn't had an above-average game at maximum. And that goes for maybe a few people. But look, I don't know what it is. Maybe he has played too much. But hopefully these few games that he's missed out on, watching Alonso running through porridge and all that, has pissed him off to the point that he's gone on the training ground, the training pitch, and worked harder. He's fixed it, whatever's going on up here. Maybe he's fixed it out. And he comes back in and he shows us exactly what he could do, exactly what he did at the start of the season when he surprised me. Because I must admit, last January, I think, when we started getting linked with him and whenever it was, I said no because I saw he was on rubbish form then. He came in at the start of the season. He proved me wrong. He made me eat my words. And where's that gone now? I don't want to be right on this matter. I now back him, actually. So I want him to show us exactly what he could do, exactly what he could do at his best. I had Man United fans in a WhatsApp group bantering me going, what's happened to Chilwell? And we had this chat last Friday. We had a few drinks, like virtual drinks, right? And they were bringing me Luke Shaw. And I didn't have much to say. What could I say? Yeah? What could I say? And since then, they've been bantering me saying Alonso's playing. So where's Chilwell? What can I say? So he needs to come and shut these guys up. Do you know what I mean?
I said it at the start of the season. I would give my left leg for this guy not to be a flop. And I'm not saying he's near there. He's got a lot of improving to do. But my God, when you spend 50 million sterling coins on this guy, he better be first team material. This is not a left back that can come in here and do rotational business. This is not a factory. You're not on a conveyor belt of left backs. You need to be the guy. You need to be the left back that we stick with. Everyone's talking about Ashley Cole liked him and cradled him, cuddled him, and all. Okay, cool. Well, let's start seeing it then. I because this is the one signing that didn't need no adaptation. I was told no Premier League adaptation. He's already been here. He didn't catch no flights. He just went up the motorway. So there shouldn't be no problems. Do you know what I mean? Unless you've left something at the old crib in Leicester that you got to pick up. Cool, go and get your keys, whatever it is. But you didn't have to take no flights. You don't have to take no flights. You don't have to learn no new languages, nothing. You're just here doing your business. You got Thiago Silva out here. You know, nighttime he's learning new languages. Daytime he's saving our blood clot. It's a madness. He's doing 2 jobs at once. Do you know what I mean? Chilwell, Chili B, Yannick, football therapy. Thank you for the propaganda, my guy. Listen. If he does not sort out his thing, I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming. Because you told me to stop the propaganda for Regulon, and I stopped it. I put it to a halt, and I said, cool, we're going to stick by Chili B. He's signed now. We have to give him our blessings, say our prayers and everything. Well, now I'm praying because I don't see him on the pitch. I see Alonso doing up second, what do they call it? Ramadonna. I don't even know how to say it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not good with pronunciation. Remontada. You know what I mean? It's going to be a carnival. It's ridiculous.
You guys know, I didn't know that remontada was a Spanish word because I had heard it used so many times. And then I looked up like the spelling and it came up in Spanish. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, the way you said it there, it's like, what?
But if I Americanized, I would say remontada.
So you've forgotten your American accent now.
My family says I've developed a slight European accent. I don't know what that means, but
telling you, someone just said it's not going to be Chilwell, it's going to be Stresswell. You know what I mean? Yeah, not wrong. They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Stresswell building. Oh man.
I'm telling you. 50 million. I'm telling you. Regular Teapot, Alex, all these brothers were cheaper, you know. 50 million on a left back.
Yeah.
I know he's young, so he's got time to improve. Tuchel will sort that out. That's the point.
Yeah. That's it. And tell us, have you seen what's happening to him at the moment?
He got benched, man.
Yeah, he's been benched, and every time he's come on, you can see why he's on the bench, actually.
Yeah, Luke Shaw. If Luke Shaw makes in that England squad, if Luke Shaw's in that England squad over Chilwell, I don't know where to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nice peak.
I got my orange juice. I'm just going to just sip. Just go and sip. Just go and sip. Because I don't want to say too much if that happens. If I see Luke Shaw running down the wing for me, for England, I'm not saying too much. I'm not saying too much.
Oh man, you guys are killing me. I have like wrinkle lines from smiling. So I want to get to this question. I thought that it was interesting. He says, do you think that this is just a manager bounce, or you reckon we're going to be fired? Because Chelsea now have 7 points out of the last 9 games, kept a clean sheet in all of them. And I think that Tuchel looks like he has a lot of ideas, tactics. It seems that he knows the strengths and weaknesses of the players as well. things seem to be going really well. And I hope there's always a little bit of a manager bounce whenever somebody new comes in. But I really hope that we're going to be fire, and we're really looking like it. Jem, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the new manager bounce is always going to be a thing. Whenever someone gets sacked, it's probably, I mean, in the sense that Frank did, things kind of got sour. They got a bit stale, you know what I mean? So there's always going to be that new energy. So in my head, I'm thinking, let's see in a few weeks how we're getting on still, because I think we've got a hellish run of fixtures coming up. But look, it's not, I'm actually going to lean towards it not just being a new manager bounce. There's obviously a sense of that. I mean, you look at Callum Hudson-Odoi after the Wolves game, even though it was a 0-0 draw, the way he was speaking, that energy he had, that's a sign of it, yeah? But I like Tuchel. I think he does bring some energy. Do you know what I mean? You look at him on the touchline and you just see him dancing around. And if my manager at work is dancing like that and looks kind of borderline like a madman, it's actually going to bring out a reaction from me. I'm not just going to be there all calm or, yeah, let's just play like this or lean back or whatever. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to think, I don't want that nonsense coming for me. Do you know what I mean? So Tuchel's good. He's a tactician. He's obviously already found something that works. He knows how to defeat a low block, which was a weakness of Chelsea, by the way. He's getting some stuff out of players that were on the bench, right? Rudiger, Alonso, Callum Hudson-Odoi to an extent. I know recently he started to play a little bit more, but he's getting a song out of these guys. So I back him. I'd love to see what happens. I don't think it's just a new manager bounce, but there is obviously that part of it too. There's always a bit of a new manager bounce. When a new guy like that comes in, there's that excitement. So let's see what he can do. Let's ask the same question in a month. How about that?
Yeah, really well said. I just want to say, guys, there's almost 100 of you watching, which is super cool because this was literally like really impromptu. So thank you so much for tuning in. That's absolutely incredible. Massive credit to these guys because they're the ones who are bringing the energy. I'm just asking the questions. But Matisse, what do you have to say about this? Do you think that Tuchel seems like a guy that could stay for the long haul? I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but
I always bring up this analogy when people ask me this with new managers. They did it with Frank. They did it with every manager. We're going out on dates. It's the honeymoon phase. Why worry about if you break up in a year or two's time? Who cares? Just enjoy it. You're getting roses. You're going out on dates to Central. Do you know what I mean? You're getting luxurious service. Do you know what I mean? Everything's good. Do you know what I mean? Everything's rosy. So why would you want to ruin that with Valentine's Day just around the corner? Imagine that. Imagine. Why do that? Just enjoy life. Just enjoy life. I'll worry about problems when they arise. When the problems come, that's when you deal with them. When the issues arise, that's when you handle them. If I see something from Tuchel in the future, I don't know. Maybe he's going to start doing a madness, start kicking people. I don't know. He could start doing anything. Then you address each situation as it comes. But right now, he's perfect. He's fresh. There's not a problem on him. Not a single issue. He's handling the media with, I don't know. It's almost like he's got the playbook of how to deal with the British media. I don't know if he was coached on the flight over. Do you know what I mean? Because it was very quick for him. You know, apparently he was flown in, mentally flown in after Leicester and then the negotiations started. So I guess he had a week to prepare for the British media. And it started off rough. They started digging him out on Twitter, little side dig, Sarri ball, whatnot. Now they're asking him what your favourite bread is and wine and pizza and whatnot. You see how the mood has changed. It's taken 1 week for them to start getting themselves in order because they know Tuchel's charismatic. So he's got that side locked down. He's already started to get the best out of the peripheral players that, we were setting fire to pitchforks trying to get some of these guys out. Now, suddenly we're worshipping them. Do you know what I mean? In this formation, talking about, new horizons and what could be. So again, he's ticked that box. And then finally, we already know he's going to be flexible. That's the one thing that Lampard kind of started to get stubborn and rigid. Sarri was definitely stubborn and rigid. Conte stubborn and rigid. He's not stubborn and rigid. He's going to bring different systems. And also he's a passion merchant. He said we have to suffer without the ball yesterday. I thought that was brilliant. That was the last box you had to tick to get Conte vibes. Now we got Conte vibes, we got Sarri vibes, we got Frank Lampard vibes. He's ticked all the boxes of the last 3 managers. He should combine them into one. It's like he studied Chelsea the last 5 years and said, okay, I like that, I didn't like that, so I dash it. I like that, I didn't like that, so get rid of that. And I like this, and I get rid of that. And then he's done it all. and he's done everything. He's got it all together in the first few weeks, and he's just putting it in place. So long may that continue. And then when people start headbutting each other in the board and Mourinho starts dashing her high heels at him, then we're going to talk. It's going to be a different situation. Hopefully that's in a few years' time. Right now, I'm going out on dates. I'm enjoying life. You know what I'm saying?
Very well said, Matisse. Very well said. So I'm going to just move it along here. We have another question that says, do you think that Havertz and Mount can fit into one team? If not, how will it affect the other's development? I think it's interesting as well because in this 3-4-2-1-ish system that we have been playing, we've seen that it's been Havertz or Mount in the 10, but not both of them. And I think if we switch potentially to a back four, we could see one of them, like both of them, play together. But I think in this current system, I don't really see them playing in the same team. Matisse, what do you think?
There's a picture of Callum Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic on the TL, and it says you can appreciate both. You can appreciate both. You don't have to pick between one or the other. And it's the same with these two. They're not even the same type of player, in my opinion. We've seen Mount play deeper in the 8. That's where, for me, he was best. Now he's accommodating to this new position. Again, everybody's making conclusions very early because we're playing this formation. We played it for 3 games because it's the same opposition we're coming up against. World War II fossil football 3 times in a row. That's why it's the same formation. We're going to switch. We're going to see different things. We're going to even change shape mid-game. It will. Players that don't feel like they fit now, they'll fit. They'll get into their own positions in different systems or whatever, or they'll accommodate themselves in this system. So I don't have a problem right now. There's no way that, let's say, arguably the most successful academy product in terms of minutes played and games racked up and getting the captain's armband and just, being consistent this season and reaching new levels is going to be chucked out long term. And then the most expensive signing we've already laid down the marker. We've already put down the money for him and his longevity in terms of the way that he's bigged up in Germany and everything. There's no way those two players won't coexist, because if they didn't coexist and we failed, you have to make them coexist. It's like signing Ballack and then saying Lampard, you have to sit on the bench. It doesn't run. It doesn't work. You might be able to do it for a few games, but at some point, someone's going to come for you. You have to make it work. So he'll make it work. He will make it work 100%. It just takes time. Kai is still acclimatizing anyway, so he's not ready to even start games back to back. He is still getting used to the league. He's still getting used to not having the time on the ball. And also, this is a big thing that gets missed with Kai. He was the epicenter of that Bayer Leverkusen team. Everything went through him. He got the most touches. They played to his liking. Everything. You know what I mean? We talk about putting food on the plate. They weren't putting food for anybody else but him. He just sat at the table and everybody just cooked for him. Now we're cooking for everyone, so everybody's got to eat. And that means Kai gets less touches. That's fine. He's just going to have to get used to it. He's not used to it yet. He'll get used to it. So like I said, everybody will come in one. Harmony is what's going to happen. It just takes time.
Brilliantly said, Matisse.
Thank you.
Find a way to say these things that I just can't even put into words. Jem, I see you nodding your head a lot during Matisse's speech. You have any thoughts on it?
I'm just going to develop off the last thing that he said. People don't appreciate how big it is to come from a smaller team to a bigger team. You go from being the big fish in a small pond to a small fish in a big pond. It is very different, and we've seen loads of players not make that next step, but younger players generally tend to eventually. So it's going to happen. Look at Mason Mount, for example, since he's part of this question. He's now starting to discover that actually he is a big thing in this team. Like you can actually see it almost game by game how he's progressing since the very start. I'll never forget that first game where he would be, in a good position himself to do something, but he would pass the ball. Since then, he's progressed so much, and he knows exactly what he brings to this team. He's getting there, and that's going to happen with Kai. Don't forget, Kai had that thing that I can't say on this channel, but you know exactly what he had, that virus.
Yep.
In it. So that has knocked. Imagine being a young player still adapted to a new country and just about getting your feet. You've just scored a hat trick, all of that. Smack, you get that virus, and then you're back to square one. And now you've got to battle against the virus as well as being one of the smaller fishes in that pond. It's going to be hard. It's going to take time. So we just need to let it run. We need to let it run. And now the manager's change is going to be a different dynamic. Kai and Mace, I'm sure they respect each other. I'm sure they do. They're the same age, I think, or similar age. And And like Mar said, they don't actually play the same position. They're not the same. They're not the same thing. They're very different. One of them's over 6'1" or something like that. The other one's
6. I don't know. He looks like a tree, bro. He's like 6'3". I don't know.
German lamppost. So do you know what I mean? This guy could. This is it. Giraffe's even better. This guy's very good in the
elegant giraffe, though.
Yeah. Kai's very good in the air. He'll get into the box like that, and we've seen it enough times. Mace is more of your edge of the box kind of player. Get the play started from deep. That's where his strengths lie. And look, that might all change under Tuchel as well. But look, they're different players. They can play together. I think maybe that question was referring to the current system where maybe it would be a little bit difficult to put them together. Maybe. But, beyond that, of course they can play together. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
And just to add to your point, about the pond, great analogy, because when you're switching ponds, there's a middle part where the fish is choking because you're switching ponds, right? He's in oxygen, fresh air. Kai Havertz right now is choking. Let's be real. He's choking. But he'll get to the other pond soon. So it's a fantastic analogy, honestly, because people lack patience. You need to give really a new signing, and then you add on his age. And obviously, he's got the fundamentals. You need to give them a season. I know it doesn't sit right with a lot of people because he cost 72 million. That he did not put that price tag on his head. You got to have patience. For me, give it a year. Obviously, as the season goes on, I expect him to get better. But next season, I think he's going to come into his own because he's going to have. Remember, he didn't get a preseason as well, so there's just too many factors for me going against him. Especially when he was going to take time anyway. He was already going to take time. Now it's extra.
Mm-hmm. Really well said. I wanted to show this. Yan from Football Therapy tuned in.
Yes, yeah.
He loves your shirt. I don't know, Yan, if you're still here, but thanks for tuning in. And Jim, you're getting a lot of comments about the shirt. It looks really good. I'm considering it. I really
Trust me, the Crystal Palace colours again, back again. It's actually quite fresh. It's actually quite fresh. I like it. Just a different feel to a Chelsea kit. That's why I got it. Yeah. It's just like, that's a bit of me.
Somebody
Them
goes,
kits are expensive though, Might have to talk to Free. Someone needs to DM Free to start getting them free. Since I saw Free UK, the Twitter account, giving out free shirts, I don't really feel like buying them anymore. Do you know what I mean? They're very expensive. I just said to myself, I need to get something sorted here with these guys because they're just out here handing away free shirts like it's Christmas. I ain't paying for nothing. Send that freebie my way, bro. You know what I mean? We need a little care package. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. So before you buy it, let's just see if we can get a YouTuber package sorted out for everyone.
You two just need to retweet one of their tweets about phones, isn't it? Then done. It's sorted.
Trust. I need to find out what we can do, man, because their shirts are expensive. It's mad.
Oh, yeah, I know the kids have increased like so much. I bought like an Adidas one, and then I hadn't bought another one, and then I was like, why is it like 30-40 pounds more? And like pounds for me is like super expensive because I have euros and dollars. So
I'm fully considering getting a junior top and just taping it to me and walking around like that. Because if I do that, it's cheaper. And I still bought the merch. No one can't tell me I'm plastic or anything like that. I got the merch. I just didn't get the right size. You know what I mean? And I don't have to get a player on the back as well because I've sellotaped it. So we're not going to see the back of the shirt. So we don't have to pay extra money for the lettering. It's actually quite a cost-effective way of going about things if you think about it.
I was like, can I fit into a child's extra large? I think I might be able to pull it off, honestly. So we have another question from you there, and he says, how will Pulisic and Ziyech fit into this system? Which is something guys, you guys all know who's watching as well. I'm the biggest Pulisic fan that there is right now. That I just am, and he hasn't been starting these games.
Above CFC.
Yes, I'm pulling the American cards. Yes.
You see a poker face there. She was like, yes.
Serious.
Yes. You can fight me on this one.
Ellie's not playing around, man. Ellie's not playing around.
So I lost my train of thought. So Pulisic has not been starting, and obviously I think that's in part because Callum has just been in incredible form, and you just can't bench Callum right now. But Ziyech, I don't think has he even made an appearance under Tuchel? Maybe
Wolves. I think he came on,
the
didn't he?
first game.
I
Yeah.
don't even remember anymore. It's all a blur since Tottenham.
Yeah, that's why
But
we
I
call
think
it
he played.
the hangover, you guys. That's why the name exists. So, how do you see them fitting into the system?
The thing is, is this we could say, how do we fit Mount, Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Kai Havertz all into the same? It's not possible. It's not possible. We're gonna have to get used to, as a fan base, that we have a lot of quality players, and they're not all going to start at the same time, and they're not all going to play every game. And that is what big teams do when they're going for big boy competitions. Look at Man City. They don't worry about how they can fit everybody in, because they don't fit everybody in. They use them when they're needed, and when they're not needed, they hit the bench. You got a quality bench, and I was almost tearing up. Do you know what I mean? I was almost tearing up against Tottenham, not because of the football that Jose Mourinho was putting on, no. Mainly because of our bench. I looked at our bench and I looked at Tottenham bench, and I nearly shed a tear. I said, this is beautiful. This is exactly what the doctor ordered, and it needs to stay like that. I don't want a situation where there's not a headache. Before, we had Hazard and William, Pedro, and that was it. And it was like, well, William or Pedro and then Hazard. And there was no selection headache. There was no options. Now we've got options. Don't worry about how everybody gets into the team. That's Tuchel's problem. We ain't getting paid enough. We ain't even getting paid to think about that. I don't have to worry. I don't care, because everybody's good. Like, Ziyech is a good player. Pulisic is a good player. Hudson-Odoi is a good player. Havertz, Mount. When there's no dead ballers in the attack, I don't have to worry about how they fit in, because I don't care who starts. I really don't care. Like, I do not care. Whoever's on form starts, and whoever's not on form doesn't. Whoever suits the tactical preferences starts. Whoever doesn't start. I don't care. Like, when you're picking between ballers, who cares who starts? I couldn't care less. It's when you bring in the players that can't play and they're playing over the ones that can. That's when we have a beef. We don't have that beef now. We're vegetarian. We keep it calm and collected. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, Jam,
my job today is just to make Ellie laugh. As long as Ellie's laughing, I'm good.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
That was my job.
Inject that energy into her.
I really
I
appreciate it after work.
Yeah. I switch up my energy. I did a show earlier with Julian Laurens. I wasn't doing any of this. I was very serious. I was asking very serious questions. It was a very serious thing. Right now, I'm trying to make Ellie laugh. That is my main goal. So switched up my energy. I've gone expressions mode. Speaking of expressions, depressions now. Depressions losing sauce. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't wait to talk to you. I can't wait.
Tell me you got a stream lined up with him soon.
No, not soon, because he's a very busy man. I love him. The fact that he even gave time on my channel is very small. He's on big 150k. Do you know what I mean? The fact that he even came on my channel for that half an hour was a blessing. Manda said I'm a simp in the comments. Listen, I got a girlfriend. Behave yourself. Yeah, Phil Mitchell from EastEnders. Behave yourself. Yeah, don't make me come and slap that bald head across your, bro. You can be nice to female. Listen, you can be nice to. I know it's strange to football Twitter. Yeah, look at the Avi fam. That says it all. You can be nice to females and not be a simp. It's very important for football Twitter to understand this. You can be nice to females. Yeah, because I've had loads of girls on my channel, and I don't even pick girls who's like, oh, you have to bring a girl on the channel football. No, girls know how to talk about football. You'll be shocked. It's true. Do you know what I mean? Get your head out of the sand.
Facts.
Anita, Elizabeth. I had Mel on the other day. I had Olivia. Just be nice. You know what I mean? You're nice to Jam. You're nice to everyone. I'm not simping for Jam either. I'm nice. You just gotta be nice, people. Just be nice. Do you know what I mean?
This is it.
Exactly. That's how it goes, people.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly, especially because we're like really good friends, like we talk so often. Why would you not be nice to me?
100%.
So we have an interesting question from Andrew, and I know that we all, I at least me, I feel really close to Hazard because he literally lives 10 minutes away from me, and I know I
God,
stalking him because it's probably like a gated community, but I found, that the neighborhood is like a 10-minute drive from my house.
You could climb gates. You can climb.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
are you doing?
Training order.
Ellie, we know you've been researching this. Yeah.
Listen,
Gates.
rules
lie.
are there to be broken, Ellie, and gates are meant to be climbed. What are you doing talking to us? Jesus Christ. If I lived 10 minutes away from Eden Hazard, you would never see me again. I would be constantly knocking on his door like, Eden. I would be such
He's
a pest, man.
roaming all over the neighborhood trying to figure out. Actually, no, I think what gym he goes to, but it's like really expensive. Anyways, so living in Madrid, my point was living in Madrid, I hear a lot about what the Real Madrid fans have to say about Hazard, and they're really not happy with him. And, you know, he's been injured so much. He really hasn't been playing well at Madrid. But I just have such a soft spot for, and then Hazard, like, of course, I would have him back, depending on the price, right? Like, for the right price, I would happily send him on the plane. You know, as you would Marcus Alonso, I would just go get Eden Hazard. It's okay, man. We don't have to live 10 minutes away from each other. It's all good. I would send you back to Chelsea for the greater good. What do you guys think? Even if he just comes off the bench for a reasonable price, for a reasonable salary.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't want to spoil the party, but I have to do it. I didn't want to be this guy. And I love the fact that we romanticize it about him on the TL. I love it. The comps, the propaganda, keep it up. 100%. I'm not trying to ruin the parade. But logically, it makes absolutely no sense. And not a single sense. Not a single brain cell. It's not nonsensical stuff.
I hear that.
Injury prone. Listen,
Another one.
injury prone, past his peak, going into his 30s now, high wages from Real Madrid, and it puts us back into that one-man team dynamic that we're trying to get away from. We've got young Pulisic, who's already injury prone, young Hudson-Odoi, young Kai Havertz, Ziyech, who's in his prime, who we need to unlock. You see, talk about unlocking characters, we need to unlock. You know what I mean? Get the key, boom, boom. Do you know what I mean? Like that. We've already got players that we need to sort out. There's no space for Eden. I'm sorry. Unless you're selling someone, there's no space. There's no space. And he's not going to come off the bench.
Very cheap. His wages, he was like, whatever you guys, I love Chelsea and I want to move back to London.
I'll take for free.
Minimum wage.
Bro, if he's willing to work for free community service, let's get this done. Do you know what I mean?
If it was like 100,000, maybe that's 200.
Everybody's willing to work for free. I've heard it before. Everybody's willing to work for free until you actually give them the offer of working for free. And it's like, hold on a second. I wasn't being serious. It was just a joke.
I don't know.
Nah. Everybody's like, I'll work for free. I'll do anything. You know what I mean? I love this. And then when you offer them the contract with the 0 and the pound sign, it's like, hold on a second. Run me my bread right now.
Like, can we just can we behave?
I did have such a soft spot. I am one of those people that romanticizes it. I'm sorry. I will admit that I cannot be rational when it comes to Hazard, and I just love him. Like, not to say that you guys don't love him, but I just am not rational when it comes to him because I love seeing him play for Chelsea.
Yeah. And you just miss seeing his backside, Ellie. Just say it.
The thing is with Eden, the butt cheeks are beautiful. However, that is what it's cost him in the end. Them butt cheeks that we used to fantasize about, it's the butt cheeks that have costed him in the end. Because you think about the fitness and the injury proneness and taking hacks to the ankle. Do you know what I mean? In the Premier League, and then he's going out to Madrid and he's still doing up cheeseburgers in pre-season. It's the butt cheeks that have cost him. If the butt cheeks were flat like mine, you know, I ain't been to the gym in a while. If the butt cheeks were flat like mine, you wouldn't be carrying that excess. You talk about excess weight, it's not necessary. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessary. Since Coquelin, you haven't had to use them butt cheeks. Since you put a Coquelin on the ground, you haven't had to use them. They're not a necessity, not an everyday appliance. You know what I'm saying? It's a bonus if you can keep those butt cheeks and keep it moving. However, he has not been able to keep it moving. He's keeping it very stationary right now. And right now, I don't need no more injury-prone players in my team. I don't. And I don't care if they're Eden Hazard. Gareth Bale is a prime example at Real Madrid. Get players that not only suit the ethos of what you're trying to build. Chelsea like to buy young, sell on value, all these things. Chelsea don't buy players in their 30s. Let me just remind you of that, guys. It doesn't happen. Unless they're Thiago Silva and they're on a free. They don't spend money on players like that.
Maybe in a couple of years, he'll go on a free and he'll retire at Chelsea.
Didier Drogba vibes, yeah.
Yeah, Didier Drogba vibes. Like, he's not playing. He's not a starter. You bring him on for a 75th minute.
But he's got to be way over the hill. Like, I'm talking he's got to be like pension. It's talking about retirement times.
No, but
remember how much we sold him for as well. They're not going to give him cheaply, you know.
No, he's got to do a whole club in between. I'm talking go to the MLS first and then come here, or go China. Do you know what I mean? You got to do a different route. You can't come from Madrid straight here. We need someone, a little buffer, or someone to do a stopgap.
If it's at when does his contract expire in Madrid? I guess like another 3 years or something like that.
I haven't loaded up Football Manager in a while.
No,
you know them ones. Elizabeth, do you play Football Manager?
No, I actually downloaded it and I didn't understand it. So
it's such a good game. But for real, when it comes to contracts and all that stuff, I fully just go on Football Manager just to learn all the little details and then just leave, just to be nosy, fully.
I spent all my time on Fantasy Premier League and I still haven't decided who I want to transfer out. Maybe you guys can help me in the comments. I have Salah, Son, and Harvey Barnes in my team, and I want to get Souček in, and I don't know who to get out. So
the way, you know what you should do? Every team that's above us, that with their players that are on form, put them in. Because then, I've seen your tweets. You say that every time you put someone in, they drop off form. Put in everybody who is against Chelsea for that top 4 race. Souček's on form, make sure he's there. Make sure everybody who is in our way for top 4 is in that team. Everyone. Load it up.
I'm trying to think who I have already. So I have Fernandez. He hasn't performed in like 7 weeks, so I got that covered. Except this past game where they won 9-0, but if he didn't, I was like, whatever. I'm trying to think. I have Son. He hasn't been performing. Harry Kane got injured. You're welcome.
Was that you?
Who else? It probably he's been in my team, so it's probably my fault.
I don't like to cheer injuries, but well done.
as soon as she pressed transfer, that's when his ankle went ding.
Yeah. It's
but anyway, get well soon to him.
It's like one of these ones. Like, well done. Do you know what I mean? I'm laughing inside, keeping it very calm and collected right now.
Jordan goes, "How are you gonna do Lizzie like that?"
Hey, it's the truth. She tweeted it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what she said. Every time someone comes into the team, like if Elizabeth's got them in the fantasy team, it's lock off for the whole team. Do you know what I mean? Timo Werner.
Salah as well. He's
I'm surprised I haven't used that as part of my logic for why Timo Werner's not scoring goals. I've said everything else but that. Do you know what I mean?
He's not in my fantasy team.
Exactly. But you had him though.
I had him for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, you see what happened?
I transferred him out, and then he scored the brace, and then he hasn't really been scoring since. So I really don't know who to sell because Tottenham play West Brom, so I was thinking that could be like a favorable fixture for Son, but without Harry Kane, I'm not feeling it like that great. And then Liverpool play City, and Salah has been crap. So. Who gets the transfer?
Chelsea have Sheffield United coming up soon as well. David McGoldrick.
That guy. I hate that guy.
All time against us. He has like 5 goals and 3 of them are against Chelsea. Is that him?
Yes, that bald bastard. That's the guy. He's so annoying. All he does is go and bench press. Look at his chest. Just there like this, isn't it?
Hundreds. 100%.
How does he get his goals against us like that, man? Oh my god!
I'm telling you, he turns into Robert Lewandowski, the Irish Lewandowski. Do you know what I'm saying? Get McGoldrick into your team. Get McGoldrick. I'm joking. Tuchel won't let that happen.
Do you know what? It's him and Callum Robinson.
Yeah,
that guy, man. Callum Robinson pisses me off even more. Do you remember that West Brom thing where he's like this?
Yeah, I don't know who he is. He's trying to do up Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
I'll never forget that.
Bench sitters acting like starters. It's ridiculous.
So
unbelievable.
Computer mode. Is this FIFA? I don't even know what this is.
Better not be Pro Evolution.
Might be Football Manager, you know.
Yeah, so I don't play. I'm sorry, so I don't even know what it's about. I just play Fantasy Premier League, and that's really it, you guys. So. Husband has a PlayStation. I've been trying to convince him to buy FIFA so I can just like watch him play. I don't want to play myself, but I just like watching. It's like
do you play like this? You hold it in one hand and like that.
No, no. What I used to play like the zombies on like the
Oh,
shooting.
COD, Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Yeah, I used to play zombies on that, but
Is it?
that's the extent of
All right.
my
That will
game.
do. That'll do. That'll do. You know what I'm saying? That'll do. Call of Duty is what we're going to level you up to. That's where we need to get you to, but it will take time. Take time. You know what I'm saying? Call of Duty is take your time with it. You know what I'm saying? That one.
Oh my god.
Such a great song. Such a great song. What's this comment here? This type of guy is moving whole body when.
Americans
Yeah,
allowed to go
100%.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I live in Madrid, so like I don't really if I'm allowed in Europe, you know, I guess it just depends. I hope that we're allowed soon. I've been trying to get to Stamford Bridge for like a year now. So.
Same. I live for an hour and you live around the corner, you know what I'm saying?
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Favorite non-Chelsea YouTuber? I'm trying to think.
Mine's probably Mark Goldbridge. That guy, man.
He's funny. I can't lie. He's funny.
Too funny. Too funny. Especially when United are losing, I must admit it.
It's not a YouTuber, it's a group. Right now, Filthy Fellas, that stuff is just gold. Do you know what I mean? That's gold right there. Peak entertainment. I'm loving that. It's like the Sidemen of football, so I'm enjoying that. I say that's my favorite YouTuber right now.
I follow a lot of Chelsea stuff, and I follow like fitness people on YouTube. So I don't really have like, unless you want some fitness recommendations. Somebody said, would you take Ramos for free? So
Ramos
really,
and Thiago Silva.
He's old, but he's still killing it.
I don't know. If I say no, that's contradicting it, kind of, isn't it?
It's a sticky one.
Yeah.
He's really good on the ball. I don't know. I like him as a player. I hate to play against him. So
can we flip a coin? That's the thing. He's Chelsea material in that sense, isn't he?
Do you know what it is? Yeah. Do you know what it is? If I'm being deadly serious, the whole point of bringing in Thiago Silva was to play a young defender next to him, so he learns the game as he's playing next to Thiago Silva. So then when Thiago Silva leaves, someone else takes his position and his mantle, whether that's Mark Guehi, Zuma, I don't care who it is, but someone has to take that responsibility. If we play a back two of Ramos and Silva, it might win a league, and if it does, then cool, then take him. But if it doesn't, then the development behind that, well, of course, training, but they're not going to get to play any games. Like, training, fantastic, but they're not playing any games. Like, that, now you've just made it, you just completely just, you know, you just cock blocked the whole defense because nobody else is coming into that duo. You've just completely shut everything down. Do you know what I mean? Talk about shutting shit down. That is what you've done. Ramos and Silva, and nobody else is talking to the defense.
I wish it was like 10 years ago or something like that, you know. But
of course.
I feel like if we didn't have Thiago Silva, then I would be all over it. But since we have Thiago Silva, he looks really good. He doesn't look 36, except for that injury yesterday where he just like pulled his thigh muscle or whatever it was.
Body malfunction.
Yeah. I do think that he looks really good. So given that I think we'll have Thiago for another year or so, I don't think we really need Ramos. So he goes, Elizabeth, I didn't think you had a husband. Are you a teenage mom? Because you look... No, I don't have kids. And I'm 26. I know that I have a baby face, but I'm 26 going on 27. So... yeah,
this question gets asked.
My husband's about to turn 30 in August, so we're not as young as we look. I promise.
The amount of times this question gets asked, honestly. Yeah, even on Twitter, they did not know you had a husband until you told them. Then when you told them on Twitter, it's like, oh right, so these guys aren't simping; they're just friends. Do you know what I mean? Stupid boys.
I remember that.
You silly boys. Absolutely silly boys, honestly. I love football Twitter because it's just full of so many young guys who are just not clued up.
They're just thinking out loud as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not clued up, man. They're not clued up. Do you know what I mean? They're not clued up, but I love it. It's funny. Silly boys, huh?
It's a novelty that you can be friends without like...
You know what it is, yeah? Do you know what it is? I feel like Twitter, there's a lot of young guys on there who are not confident speaking to girls. So they think it's abnormal to talk to females in this way. If you're talking to a female in a calm way where you're this confident, it's like, yo, you must really like her. No, it's just friendship, bro. Because some people are just confident. Just I'm confident speaking to females. If you're not confident, 100%, no problem. But do not be calling people that are simps just because you're not ready to talk to a female properly, bro. You know what I mean? You gotta sort that out. You know what I mean? That's not for me. That is not for me at all.
Hard facts.
Hard facts, man. You know what I'm saying? If I stay on the tail, they'll crucify me with their ratios. They'll crucify me with their ratios and dubs. But I'm just spitting facts. That's what I'm saying. That is all it is. Do you know what I mean? That is all it is.
What's the other thing that they say, like, when you don't reply?
Ed.
No.
Oh, when you don't reply. Ed. Yeah, Ed.
Yeah, it's Ed.
Like, you're saying Ed, but they've replied to me on DMs. What are you talking about?
No. There's another one I'm thinking of. Is it?
Ed. I don't know. Ed, ratioed, bombastic. I don't know.
No, when you don't aired.
I need to go through the dictionary.
Aired.
Oh, when did you say that?
Oh, I didn't understand with your accent, honestly.
Ed G.
I thought you were saying Ed, E-D. Ed.
Yeah, Ed.
Or like Ed without the H.
Oh, man.
Aired.
Ed, yeah.
God,
that light bulb that came on there, Ellie, was brilliant. I know what it is.
Yeah,
perfectly positioned. It's actually fantastic.
We speak the same language, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
America to England is a completely different situation. It's
It
I
really is.
think we did this one time. Yeah,
we did this when I was on your channel. We went through all kind of words that are different between the UK and US. I message Jam all the time, like typing words. I'm like, send me a voice note about how you pronounce this word. I just need to know.
Hey, by the way, you were slipping earlier. I heard you say Adidas.
I
heard it earlier. I heard it.
Adidas.
No.
You say Adidas. It's not.
I can't say that.
It's Adidas.
Adidas. No.
Company. It's an American company. Adidas.
I don't care. America, no, I don't care. Don't care.
Somebody goes.
If America want to have their own companies, they have to speak a different language. They're speaking English.
This is the word. This is the word.
You spell it differently. This is the problem. You spell it differently. You spell it aluminium, but aluminum. We don't have the extra I. That's the thing. We don't have the extra I. Aluminum.
Aluminum. How about that? Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Aluminum. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with this.
There you go.
Feel free to leave like comments, like things that you want us to say. I freaking like could do this all day, honestly. Like with pronouncing words, I love it. I love hearing like words in different accents as well. So like feel free to. I could do it forever, honestly. Everybody knows that. So Ali goes, Ellie, do you have a hard time understanding Billy Gilmore? And the answer is yes. I feel like sometimes I need to turn on the subtitles with Billy Gilmore because I don't understand the Scottish accent like at all. Even like a North England accent, I'm like, what are they saying? I feel it. I was watching some TV show that was, I don't remember what it was, but I had to turn on it was Love Island. I had to turn on the subtitles. It's years ago, but
oh god, my chest. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, Love Island. Oh my god.
You were saying Adidas is German. I thought that Nike was German and Adidas is American, but maybe I'm wrong.
Can I just bring out that violin for you? Just give me 1 second.
I can't lie. I had to go at 7 anyway because I got to have dinner. However, that Love Island thing has just completely ruined me, Ellie.
No, we can't end it on that.
I'm sorry. Why did we have to end it?
I haven't watched it in like 3 years. But I did have. I low-key love like reality TV. Like I just
not watching it for 3 years is good rehab. However, if you switch back now, all the hard work's gone to waste.
No, but I did get tired of it. But like The Bachelor and that shit, I fucking love it. It's so good. Like Adidas found their country. I don't know what to look for.
Are you googling how to say it? How it has to be said?
No. She's googling where it's from. Hey, the comments is littered from where it's from.
It's Germany.
It is Germany.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Do you think it's America?
She said it though.
I did. I swear to God, I did.
Oh, can you fix it now, please, Ellie?
No,
Can you fix it? Say it
Nike
properly.
is American. Nike is American. So I switched it up. I said I thought that Nike was not American. Nike is American, and you say Nike.
Now you know how to say it, though. Go and say it. Adidas. Adidas.
Oh, I hate that.
Adidas. Thank you. Thank you. That is a clip. You've just been to the barbers. Thank you.
So he goes, only an American would think Adidas is their company. No, I literally said that I knew that one of them wasn't American. I just switched Nike and Adidas, you guys. Like,
see, this is what happens when we come off the topic of football. Man, they get exposed.
Yeah, so like
they get exposed. If we just stuck with what we knew, we all know football. Now we're talking about companies and where they're founded and whatnot. Things are getting sticky icky. People are going to clip us up, put us on Twitter. This is what happens when we stay away from where we were.
I want you guys to know, I knew there were two and one wasn't American. I just didn't remember which one.
Bro, it's lights out for you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You've already cancelled yourself. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Take it seriously. We can't take it seriously anymore. What are we going to do next? Puma's from Australia. What are we going to do next? We can't do this.
You say Puma?
Oh, no.
Puma.
Pumbaa. What is this? Pumbaa from Lion King. I'm gone.
Oh, Ellie.
Puma. There's like Tuesday.
What do you say? Tuesday.
Yeah. That Tuesday with a CH. It's TU.
Oh, do you know what? I feel like this needs its own stream. Dedicated to how to pronounce things properly.
I'm proper like red right now.
Oh no.
Well, I love your accents, you guys. If it makes you feel any better, I always wanted a British accent. And my mom said I grew up in the wrong country. So if it makes you feel any better, I adore your accents and would love to trade my accent.
It's extra effed up now that you live in Spain, isn't it? You know I'm joking, Ellie. You know I'm joking.
For God's sake, man. So American, English, and Spanish. This is actually a very good combination. I'm not gonna lie. Very good combination. Very good combination.
Did you say American? Oh, American English and Spanish, not American English and Spanish.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah.
I've never heard anybody say American English, so I was confused. It's just English.
Yeah, no one does until today. Do you know what I mean?
Until today, you founded it.
From this day forth, I know what time it is. I'm always referring to it as that now. American English.
It's got to be done.
American English. Oh my gosh.
Got to be
well, guys, I think this is just a natural place to try to end this. I could go on forever with these. I really love saying the words and trying to say a British accent. You guys will have to tell me how my British accent is some other day. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me. You've rejuvenated my mood after I had a really long day of work and I was just really tired and everything. So thank you guys so much. I want to give you the time to just say where the people can find you, even though they probably already know you. Jam, I'll start with you.
So today, this is my second stream of the day. I was on Worldwide Chelsea earlier. And after this, in about half an hour's time, I'm on the Chelsea Social with Dan McCarthy, Jay, and Hajir. So we're doing another Tottenham review. That's going to be funny. It's going to be Friday night settings, a bit like this. But in terms of myself, you can find me on Twitter at carefree_jam. And obviously one of the co-owners of the Chelsea Social as well. So check us out. If you've got nothing to do this Friday, half an hour's time, jump on that. That'd be much appreciated.
Awesome. And Matisse, I'm sure everybody knows you, but
we can't make assumptions. If there's one who doesn't, they have to get to know today. You know what I'm saying?
You brought the viewers, man.
There's 84 in here. I'm guaranteeing you a couple didn't know. At least 10. So guys, listen, you can find me on MAH. That's my YouTube channel. We did a big interview today. Well, not even an interview, big conversation with Julien Laurens and Cheeky Sport Joel, speaking about yesterday's game. The very, very finer details, because he was at the game reporting, interviewing Tuchel himself. So, and obviously he knows Tuchel from PSG and from Dortmund. They go way back. Do you know what I mean? So that's a very big interview. That's a lot of detail in there. So yeah, check out the YouTube and Twitter. Me not care. Just YouTube. Focus on the YouTube. Do you know what I mean? If you get to the YouTube, you've done your job. If you don't want to go onto Twitter, that's fine. If you don't want to go to Instagram, that's fine. YouTube is where it's at. We're trying to chase that 10K. We're much appreciated.
Man, you've just been absolutely killing it, honestly. Probably one of the fastest people I know to reach to be reaching.
Nah, it's not faster than Eunice, trust me. Eunice just got 10K immediately. Just set up the channel and bang.
You're at Eunice's level. Fun fact, Eunice and I have the same birthday, so we're like really pumped about that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. August 9th, you guys. Can't forget it. Double whammy.
That's all about the 18th of August. What are you talking about? That's my day.
Mad.
The August babies. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, especially if you made it this far through all of our laughs and just like randomness. Once we stop talking about football, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, especially on a Friday night. If you haven't liked this video already, please do so, because it really helps me out more than you know. And subscribe to my channel, because I can see there's a lot of people that watch these videos but don't subscribe. So please, please, please subscribe to my channel. It really does an absolute world of good for me. So thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, I'm out.